looking at Donald Trump, a bit of a shift in strategy when it comes to coronavirus in recent times.
That's right, Pete. I mean, Donald Trump has been really falling in the polls. Two-thirds of Americans, according to the polls, are not happy with the way he's dealt with the pandemic here in the United States, of course, with more than 140,000 deaths. So the president today looked like he was changing tack a bit. He came out and he said he's going to resume those briefings. Remember those daily briefings he had up until about 6 weeks ago? And he's also going to focus more on the progress towards vaccines and therapeutics. Now, of course, this comes in the wake of the Oxford University report today that excited a lot of people in here in the States. So I think Trump is going to try and exude a more positive aspect to the pandemic, if that's possible. Clearly, a change of strategy from the president.
Yeah, and this comes as certain states as well, Cam, don't they? Receive or reach new high points.
That's right. I mean, the South and the West, the virus is still very much raging. We saw record numbers today in a range of states, North Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, you name it, a lot of them. The death rates are rising also too, Pete, but they're not rising certainly as fast as they were early in the pandemic in New York City. So, it's the virus is certainly making a lot of Americans nervous. You can see it in the polls. People are also staying away from bars and restaurants now in a way that they weren't before.
So that's why those numbers aren't as steep as they were in New York City, because people are tending to stay away from, larger gatherings.
Look, it's also a mixture of the fact that more young people are being infected, Pete. Certainly in the southern states, the Sun Belt states, it's a hot summer here at the moment, and they obviously are more likely to survive as well. And there is a bit more testing going on. And also the doctors have got a little bit better at treating the virus. So we put those three things together, and I think that's why you're seeing death rates are not as high at the moment, but they will rise in the weeks ahead because there's been just so many infections.
Yeah, an interesting tweet, and I'm wondering how his poll numbers are doing in recent days, Cam. Donald Trump tweeting about half an hour ago, and it's a picture of him in his mask. And he says, "We are united in our effort to defeat the invisible China virus." He's sticking with that term, isn't he? And he's referring to himself as your favourite president to all of the Americans. How are his poll numbers been doing? I know that most of them had him in the negative for a while now.
Yeah, the poll numbers, Pete, are very, very have been very bad. I mean, the new polls have him 15 points down. The Washington Post poll, 15 points down. That's a lot. And he's had that sort of lead for a couple of months now. So certainly the White House advisors are saying to Donald Trump he's going to be in trouble unless he can reverse this trend. And they see the pandemic, his performance in the pandemic, as the biggest issue here. So that's really what he's trying to get to here. And he's attacking Joe Biden, but at the moment he's not having much luck actually getting those poll numbers back up.
Where is he centering his attacks on? Have I still got you, Cam? Can you hear me, mate?
No, sorry. I lost you, Pete. What was that?
No, just a question about his attacks on Biden. Where is he centering his attacks on Biden?
What he's saying about Biden is he's trying to portray him as senile, too old for the job, not up to it, and hiding away in his basement. That's very much the way he's attacking him. He's also trying to portray him, Pete, as a creature of the socialist left, and warning that if Biden gets elected, you'll see a lot of the street violence we've seen here in the States, a lot of the sort of left-wing groups knocking down statues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's very much Trump's pitch at the moment. Yeah. He's hoping that will take root amongst his base.
And Biden wants to increase company tax rates again, right? So I'm sure that's going to anger a lot of big businesses in the US.
That's right. And I think Donald Trump does have an advantage over Biden in one aspect, and that is that most Americans still believe that he will be better for the economy than Joe Biden. In other words, better for rebuilding the economy after the pandemic than Biden. And I think that is a potential strength for Trump. And I think that's probably where he's going to really try and focus an advantage.
Well, it was just yesterday on our show, Cam, that we had this Kanye West election picture. I don't know what we call it. I don't think anybody's taking it too seriously. But what do the cynics say this is all about? I mean, some of it, what he was saying was really confronting and quite disturbing, and leads you to think he's got some pretty serious issues. But what's it all about?
That's a very good question, Pete. I mean, the conspiracy theorists suggest that Kanye West is coming in here to try and somehow take away some of the African-American vote from Biden to actually help Trump. I tend to not think that is true. I think he's just a bit of a crazy celebrity who's just having some fun. But it's very hard to know exactly what he wants to do right now.
All right.